guys, welcome to my second Costume Supercenter review. This time I will be talking about the adult classic Miss Santa costume that I recently modified for my Xmas Asuka cosplay. When I first got the costume, it looked like this. And Xmas Asuka's costume looks like this. So there's not a whole lot of modifying going on with this. I just basically wanted to step away from a dress type design that the Miss Santa costume had and go for more of just like the jacket design that Xmas Asuka has. So there were just a few things to work around and that I personally wanted to upgrade. The first thing I did was basically strip the costume down to its bare basic dress. I shortened the length of it a little bit because, as we all know, in anime and video games, everybody likes their skirts really short. I didn't have to go too short though. And then the next step was to basically tear off every inch of fur that was already on the outfit. I usually just seam rip everything off, but the costume was actually serged really well. And because of the fact that I had to shorten it everywhere a little bit anyway, cutting it right at the serge seam didn't seem too horrible too horrible of a thing to do, as I trip over all of my words. So I had to make all of my own fur trim for this, which required me basically scoring the back of the fur with a razor so that I didn't have fur everywhere. It was still everywhere, unfortunately, but that's my own fault for choosing the fur that I chose. A big pain in the butt to sew because it is a thicker material to work with, but I got through it. I should be used to it by now because of my rave outfits, but never. So I replaced all of the fur trim on the dress, which included the sleeves, the edge of the capelet, and then I had to make a new hat for this because Xmas Asuka's hat is actually like these bunny ears, which you can't see too well in the artwork. If you have the figure though, you know. So I had to make a completely new hat, and I went out and I got some velvet from Joann's, tried to match it the best I could. I think it was like a little bit darker, but I worked with it. I used that same velvet to make all of the bows that were attached to the outfit. So I handmade all the bows, which was a little bit of a learning process for me because anytime I've ever done a bow on my own, it's always come out like a complete mess. Making the bows was fun. There were, how many? I think there were 2 in her hair, 1 in the front of the capelet, and then 2 for her boots. The boots I actually cheated with a little bit because of the time restraint that I was working with. So I bought these red faux suede wedge boots off of eBay. They were thigh high originally. I wanted to make sure that they were going to be tall enough, so I ended up chopping off the top, adding the fur trim, and then stitching on the handmade bows for that. I would like to go back in and paint them a brighter red to match the outfit, so that way when I wear it to conventions it's not so different like in person. We were able to work with the lighting for the photo shoot, but I don't know, maybe I'll leave it. We'll see how lazy I get before I wear it to a convention or something. The last bit of altering that I had to do for Costume Supercenter's outfit was, well, of course the belt was detachable, so that was easy. I was thinking about trying to remove the elastic waist on it to make it look more like a jacket rather than a dress, but again, time kind of got away from me with Christmas shopping and everything else, so I had to just kind of leave the elastic where it was, and I put on the toggles. She has about, I think it was 4 toggles going down the front of her jacket. So that was a little difficult to work around, considering the fact that because of the elastic, then the dress was kind of cinched in the waist, and it made for all this gathering, which was kind of obnoxious to lay the toggles out just right, and it proved to be a little bit of a workaround when it came to the photo shoot. But for a last minute thing, you know, just slightly modifying an outfit, it worked out really well. I think the last thing I had to do then was make a bell necklace, because Asuka has like a giant bell right over the bow of her capelet. This I actually got really lucky with, because I haven't seen them in the stores for a while now, but I had bought 2 giant bells for a costume like 8 years ago that I never made the costume, and I didn't want to throw them out, and nobody I knew needed them, so they just kind of sat in my supply bin forever. So those came in handy. It's a bit noisy when I move around in the costume or am like packing it around for travel, but what can you do, you know? It worked out in the end. The wig I got from just random eBay account over in China. I needed something cheap, I needed something quick, and it was in the nice kind of natural color that I like to try to find for my costumes. So the only thing that I really needed to do was cut the bangs, and I feathered her pigtails and the bottom of the base wig a little bit. Not too much modifying in that, which was nice. The wig only cost me $20. I can't complain. Saving money with cosplay is always a huge plus. The materials for the costume were actually really nice. The velvet was pretty warm. It had just a little bit of a stretch to it, which made it a little easier actually for me to work with. I'm really used to sewing with stretch materials. So definitely I would check out Costume Supercenter if you need any Santa-esque or other holiday-esque costumes for any holiday parties you have. They have a lot to pick from, some really cute designs, and I was very happy with my choice. I can't wait to finally wear it to an actual convention and take some photos. Might not be for a while since Christmas has passed, but Katsukami is close, so...